What is up, everybody? It's John with John Sports Arts and Collectibles coming at you with a brand new video. How's everyone doing out there today in the YouTube universe? Hope everybody is well. We're going to dive into this box here. This box is one of the mystery lots that I purchased. Got this from Greg Morris Cards a while ago, like months and months and months ago, probably last fall. And it is part of a business project that I don't know if it's going to get off the ground this year. Hopefully it will. I've got a lot of things going on. But I wanted to share this with everybody. I've not seen what's in here. I don't know if there are any Hall of Famers, but there are 1974 Topps cards in here. I don't know what the condition I think the condition was like EX and up. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe they're less than that. But let's just see what's in here. I'm just curious. I don't think this was like a set. I think this is just a lot. And, I guess, EX and down, maybe VG EX to EX. But let's see. Let's see what's in here today. Should be fun. These are always cool to check out. Put this box over here so I don't bang into it. There we go. All right, let's start out. Are they in order? 660. Oh, they're going to go backwards. Maybe it is a partial set. Well, we'll find out. Let's see if there's doubles. You've got Larry Durker here. Houston Astros. I like, all the years of Topps from 70 and up to probably like, I even like 81, 82, obviously. 83 is classic, so is 84. I mean, there's so many good years. But this is a fun one, though. Joe Liss. Lee Lacy. There's a traded Fernando Gonzalez. Traded to the Kansas City Royals. From, I think, my Pittsburgh Pirates, because you can see one of them back there, and they paint on his collar there. Doesn't look happy. There he is there, Fernando Gonzalez. Another trade, Terry Crowley, Juan Beniquez. So, yeah, these are definitely got some little corner issues, some of these cards. Ken Boswell, Chuck Brinkman. There's Milt Pappas, Ken Sanders, Dave Hamilton, Tommy Agee. Is it Agee or Agee? Not sure. Rusty Staub. Bob Miller. Bernie Carbo sporting that stash. That's pretty sweet. Al Downing, great pitcher right there. He was a 20-game winner multiple times, I believe. Maybe not. 1 year? Maybe it's only the 1 year. Okay, Jim Mason traded to the Yankees. Larry Gura, his traded card to the Rangers. Adrian Devine. Dan Monzon. Let's see if I can read this one. Rick Stelmazik. I think I got that right. That's pretty cool. Now, there's something with there's actually, that's like the exposure in the back. You can see the people, they're all blurry looking. That's pretty cool. That's Dave Kingman, King Kong. There's some rookies in here. Maybe we'll get somebody good. Here's a cool one. Frank Tavares. Great shortstop there. Also, Leo Foster, Tom Heinzelman, and then Dave Rosella. There's another rookie. Bob Apodaca, Dick Bainey, John D'Acquisto, and then Mike Wallace. There's another one. Glenn Abbott, Rick Henninger, Craig Swan, and Dan Vossler. It was another one. This time we got Ron Dio Rio, Dave Frisleben, Frank Rosselli, and then Greg Shanahan. And that's it. There's Steve Blass. Great Pirate pitcher there. Former Pittsburgh Pirates announcer. Leroy Stanton. Steve Yeager. The Yeager Bomb. Merv Redmond. Traded card. Bucky Effin Den. That might be his rookie card. That might be. Unless it's in 73. Fred Norman. There's another traded. Cecil Upshaw. Love that shot, old Cecil there. Looks like an old manager, but he wasn't. There he is there, Cecil Upshaw. Was he a sidewinder? I'm not sure. You know who would know? T-Shawn Shannon. This is his Houston Astros. That's his team. If you're watching T-Shawn, let me know. Was Cecil Upshaw a sidewinder pitcher? You know, sidearm, submarine style. It looks like he might be, but I'm not sure. Mike Sadek, Bill Parsons, Mike Adams, Enzo Hernandez, Ralph Garr, the helmet falling off, Jim McLaughlin, Jim Willoughby, Mike Jorgensen, Sonny Siebert, Mike Corkins. There's another trade. Ron Schuler, trade to the Phils. There he is with the Braves. Danny Cater. Okay, we've got the Indians, Cleveland Indians team card and not checklist for this particular year. But there they are, the old Cleveland Indians. Lloyd Allen. There's Cesar Tovar, traded to the Rangers. Steve Mingori, or Mingori. Eddie Watt, traded to the Phils. Mike Phillips, Gene Mock, manager card. Love it. Who else is on here? Jerry Zimmerman, Larry Doby, Cal McLish, and then Dave Bristol. All the coaches, and here's what the back of this one looks like. I dig those coach cards. They're pretty damn cool. Bill Bonham, Bobby Darwin, Clyde Wright with that painted on hat. For the Brewers, Cecil Cooper. His rookie's in 72 with Carlton Fisk. J.R. Richard. I don't know if that's... I think he's got a standalone set. I thought his was in 72 as well. Bill Sharp, for a rookie that is for him. Bill Sharp has traded Horacio Pena. Or Pena. There he is again with the A's. Happy and not so happy. Willie Montanez. If I miss any rookies, folks, feel free to comment down below. Paul Shaw. Jim Campanis. Joe LaHode. Toby Hara. Boy, I don't know what happened there. That's got to be something with the actual pulp. I think that's a rookie for old Toby. Great third baseman, though. He's shortstop here. Eddie Leone, Rusty Torres, Pat Corrales. Here's a trade. Tom Murphy traded to the Brewers. There he is with the Cardinals. Steve Stone traded to the Cubs from the White Sox. He just went across town. Not sure if that's a rookie for Steve Stone. I remember him with the Orioles. Felipe Alou, one of the Alou brothers, traded to the Brewers with the paint on hat. Carmen Fanzone. Or is it Fanzone? There is the 73 World Series. The Mets over the A's. Game 4. Is that Gene Tennis there? I don't know who's batting there for the Mets. That's Seaver, though, in the playoffs. Mets over the Reds 3-2. All right, continue on here. Pepe Frias. Winston Lenenis. Probably saying that wrong. Dick Bosman. Pat Dobson. John Odom. That's John Blue Moon Odom. Jim Ray. Chuck Coggin. Tom Bradley. Nobody in the stands there. I mean, empty. I wonder if that's Candlestick Park. It doesn't look like it. I think they had like an inner fence going around, I believe. There's Kurt Bavacqua traded to the Pirates. There he is with the Royals. For that, where's that one? Oh, we traded Fernando Gonzalez for Kurt Bavacqua. Did we go up any higher with that trade? I think that's who that probably a deal there. Maybe there are other players involved. Tommy John, Tom McGraw, or McCaw, Ron Hodges. There's Frank Quilisi. manager for the Minnesota Twins, with Ralph Rowe, Bob Rogers, and Vern Morgan. Lenny Randall holding the baseball there in that pose. Vic Davalio for the Oakland Athletics. Jim Lytle, Chris Arnold. Matty Alou, Felipe's brother. Gary Sutherland, Bobby Bolin, Rennie Stennett. Awesome. Pete Broberg, Dan Fifi. Is it Fifi or Fifi? Not sure. Rich Folkers, Chuck Taylor, Charlie Huff, Knuckleballer. Jim Wolford, Steve Arlen, Ellie Rodriguez, Jim Howarth, and Jim Rooker. So no Hall of Famers yet. Still really cool to see. So we have a lot more to go, so I'll try to go a little bit quicker here. Still cool regardless. There's Tommy Davis. There were the Orioles, longtime Dodger. Orlando Pena. Here's Sweet Lou. Not Sweet Lou Whitaker, Sweet Lou Piniella. It's traded. There's Gary Matthews. Sliding in the third for the San Francisco Giants. And I'm not sure. I don't think that's a rookie for him. I think it might be the previous year. There's Chris Chambliss. There's Bob Moose, poorly cut. A total miscut. I wonder what car that is above him. Old Bob Moose with that hair going on there. Charlie Sands. Ron Woods. Another miscut. Marty Perez. John Curtis. Love that. Oh, my gosh. Gotta love the pictures from back in the day. Traded to St. Louis areas with the Red Sox before we went off to the Cardinals. Ken Reitz, Jim Slayton, Manny Mota. This has got to be a partial set. Clarence Cito Gaston. Yes, it is. Don Carruthers, Brett Strom, Jerry Kuzman, not a Hall of Famer, great pitcher right there. Dave Nelson leaning on the bat. And then here are here's the manager card for the Cubs, Whitey Lockman, with J.C. Martin, Hank Aguirre, Al Spangler, and Jim Marshall. All right, continuing on here. Bill Stoneman, Rich Reichert, traded with the paint-on hat. There he is with the Dodgers. Mark Bellinger. Great shortstop there for the Baltimore Orioles. Skip Jutzy. There's a traded Randy Hundley. And there he is there with a terrible miscut. Look at that. Look who's there. There's old Mark above him. That's hilarious. All right, continuing on. Barry Lurch, traded. Happy to go to the Braves. Jerry Grote. Bruce Del Canton. Tito Fuentes. Love it. Got the little sweatband over his cap. That's a trademark of Tito Fuentes. Don Wilson, decent pitcher right there. Rudy May, another good pitcher. Bob Montgomery, Rourke Harrison, Hal Breeden, Gorman Thomas. That might be a rookie card for Gorman Thomas. Tony Muser, decent player there for the White Sox. Doyle Alexander, Gary Nolan, Bobby Winkles, John Roseborough, Tom Morgan, Jimmy Reese, is that Pee Wee Reese? And Salty Parker, or is it Sadie Parker? Is it Salty? Francis James Parker, maybe it is Salty. I can't read it. It might be an I or an L. Ron Hunt, Fred Bean or Beanie, Paul Casanova, Bob Johnson, the Buccos there. There he is traded from the traded to the Indians from the Pirates. Ed Kirkpatrick. Here's Ed Kirkpatrick trade to the Pirates. So he must have been part of that deal. We got Bavacqua and Ed Kirkpatrick. I don't remember him. I was 5 when these came out. I wasn't even living in Pittsburgh then. Jerry Bell. Jerry Morales. Tom Griffin. Stan Bonson. There's Craig Nettles. There's George Mitterwald traded to the Cubs. There he is with the Twins. Okay, Cleon Jones for the Mets. Carl Morton. Bob Oliver. Bill Gogolewski. Bill Russell, great shortstop there for the Dodgers. Fran Healy. Don't know who that is. Sliding in the home. Looks like a Yankee. I don't think that's Thurman Munson. I don't remember. I don't know his number. Comment down below if you know. Ken Brett, George's brother there. Dave McNally. Steve Brine. Steve Bry. I always say Brian. It's Bry, I believe. Dick Tidrow. Fritz Peterson. Ted Kubiak. Mike Lum. Roger Metzger. Ramon Hernandez. There's Chuck Tanner, may he rest in peace, with Jim Maloney. Alex Monchek. I think it's Al Monchek. Johnny Sane, and then Joe Lynette. Dave Rader. Victory leaders. Wilbur Wood and Ron Bryant. That's all we get for the leaders cards. Maybe there's more. Cesar Cedeno. Great outfielder for the Houston Astros there. Mike Kikich. Jim Fergozzi. Carlos May. Darrell Porter. They were the Brewers. Longtime St. Louis Cardinal. Okay. Let's do the last stack and we'll wrap this one up. This has been really fun. These are always fun. I think I've got a few more, too, that we can get into at some point. Okay, Mario Guerrero for the Red Sox. Al Fitzmaurice. There's a Fred Sherman traded to the Astros. There's Lindy McDaniel, another trade to the Royals. Dave Roberts. Another trade of Reggie Cleveland to the Red Sox. Randy Jones. Gene Clines. Bill Melton. Jack McKeon. Manager card with Charlie Lau. Harry Dunlop and Galen Cisco. Royals there. Willie Davis. Willie Davis traded to the Expos. Went from the Dodgers to the Expos. From the top to the bottom. Tom House. Love those old Braves unis. There's Ken Berry with the paint on cap. Jack Billingham. Vic Harris. Bert Campaneris. Great infielder. Really good hitter, too. Not a Hall of Famer. I don't know why Campy's not in there. John Matlack. There's a trade, Diego Segui. What if that's David Segui's father? Might be. There he is again there, smiling with the Cardinals, knowing he's going to the Red Sox. I don't know if that was, good or bad for old Dave, but he doesn't look happy in that second picture. Dave Hilton. Bart Johnson. There's Doc Ellis. There's Walter Alston. I think he's a Hall of Famer. There's Tommy Lasorda, another Hall of Famer. Jim Gilliam, Red Adams, and Monty I can't even see what this says. Monty Besgali. Sorry about that. Dick Woodson, Pedro Garcia, Darrell Evans, Pat Bork, Aurelio Montegudo, I'm not sure. There he is there, trade to the Phils. From the California Angels to the Phillies. Rick Ruschel. Dennis Menke. John Ellis. Tom Paciorek. Nellie Bryles. Rest in peace, Nellie. Traded to the Royals. There he is of the Pirates. He was also an announcer for my team, too. Jim Holt later on. Wilbur Wood. Great pitcher there. Not a Hall of Famer. They're the Angels. Noel Ryan somewhere in that picture. So I guess we kind of get another Hall of Famer in there somewhere. Bobby Grich. Looks like somebody from the Braves sliding in, perhaps. Or the Brewers, probably the Braves. Bobby Valentine. Del Crandall. With Harvey Kuhn. Joe Nosek, Jim Walton, and Al Widmer. Is Del in the Hall of Fame? I thought he might be. Let's just check. Del Crandall. He probably is not, but let's see. Is he in? There's some guys that got in a couple years ago, and he's not. But he's an 11-time All-Star. He's a World Series champion 57. He's a 4-time Gold Glove Award winner, and he's in the Braves Hall of Fame. Del Crandall, not a Hall of Famer. Okay, Bob Bailey, Jerry Hairston, Ron Gilbreth, Paul Blair. These are pretty cool. Definitely. The condition isn't great on a lot of these, but these are fun. Ken Forsch, Freddie Patek, Mickey Rivers, Jim Colborn, Danny Frisella, Del Unser. Great hitter right there. Tommy Helms, Amos Otis, famous Amos, Doug Real. There's a Bob Sadakis, trade to the Yankees. Bob Locker. There he is with going to the A's from the Cubs. Charlie Spikes. Daryl Knowles. Or Nolis. I always said Knowles. Fred Kendall. There's Al Oliver. Scoop. Oliver's awesome. I think he's still with us. Bobby Heisey. Traded to the Cardinals areas of the Brewers. Dick Ruthven. There's Jim Wynn. We don't have his regular card. He was pretty good. He had some power, too. Traded to the Dodgers. Ken Suarez. I don't remember him, but doesn't mean he wasn't okay. Don Kessinger. Don Newhouser. There's Manny Sanguian. At least we got some stars in here. At least there's another one. George Scott. Lots of power. Rest in peace, George Scott. Bill Campbell. Good pitcher right there. There's Craig Robinson. Traded to the Braves. Bob Gallagher. Gary Thomason, Paul Popovic, Dave May, Jim Bibby, good pitcher right there. We end with George Theodore. That's it. No Hall. Well, there were a couple, coach-wise, right? And maybe one on a photo somewhere. But this is still cool and lots of fun. And I'm glad I was able to share this with you, like I always say. And hopefully enjoyed this one. And there you go. Like a mystery lob. It looks like a partial set of the 1974 Topps release. Definitely cool stuff. These videos are always fun, like I say. Again, I'm glad I was able to present this to you. So, remember, if you're new here and you like what you see and hear here, please hit the subscribe button. Please comment down below. Please share this video with everybody out there in the card community. Give this video a thumbs up, a like. And I will leave the link to the new District Marketplace store down below in the description. If you haven't heard already, I have officially left eBay and have moved shop over to the District selling app. And really, the move was initially going to be just for the live auction element, which I'm bringing back, and on that selling app, which is going to be really cool. And but then I ended up moving the whole marketplace over. So I'll leave a link down below in the description to that, and you'll have to obviously sign up for an account and download the app. I think you might be able to do it on your computer too, if you want to purchase anything over there. So go check it out. Go take a look. It's a work in progress. I think there's close to 300 pieces now up on the store for sale. A lot of stuff from the original eBay store, but then there might be some things that were not listed on the store before, or maybe they were, but they were so buried they were impossible to find. Because at one point I think there were like 10,000 items on the eBay store. So there'll be a lot less this time around, and looks like to be a pretty cool selling platform. So I'm excited about that move, and we'll see what happens with that in the coming weeks and months. But the live auction is coming back in the beginning of June, the way it's looking right now. So I'll let everybody know when that happens. I'm sure there'll be some people that'll be happy about that. And that's all I've got, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. This is John with John Sports. I was Collectible signing off, and I'll see everybody very, very soon. Take care.